Hello, good morning. This is Diana, and I'm presenting for the Boston Healthcare Technology User Group. Today, we want to share with you a session that it's called virtual visits. We're going to talk about what is Microsoft offering for all the industry in healthcare from healthcare. Excuse me, my voice is today bothering me. Um, but before we start, real quick, to all of you that are new in the user group, our mission is to empower all people in technology in healthcare, and from our local community based in Boston, we serve the community with different opportunities to speakers and to people that is part of the community, and we run bi-monthly meetings every second Wednesday of the month and the fourth. We recently moved to an in-person, and we are running the second Wednesday in virtual and the fourth in person. So get ready for our next meeting. It will be at the Microsoft offices in Burlington. So we want to thank to our sponsors, Real Activity, and also Microsoft, as I say, for hosting our meetings in person. And here is a quick invite for us, for all of us, to follow and participate actively in our Discord channel. And also, please subscribe to our mailing list so you can get all the notifications for the meetings and different activities, or if there is any last minute note, you will get it, and don't miss any activity. Well, oops, okay, here. So real quick, so this is a 25-minute talk that we have for our user group, and today I'm hosting the session. We're talking about virtual visits integrate with EHR systems on Microsoft 365. So here you can find my email. Work at Real Activity as Solutions Manager and also the Community Manager for BossHawk community. And if you want to send me a tweet or follow on LinkedIn, you can find me as Carolina TV. Okay. Following the discussion, we are going to talk about how we can improve accessibility for everyone, and how virtual appointments are now integrated into Epic and the Cerner systems, the electronic records systems. So this has been a huge advantage in the industry and has been making things easier. So we're gonna take a look real quick to this. Also, how virtual visits has a huge report, and it's integrated on Teams, and different administrators can use it for the company's data. Well, okay, so okay, improving accessibility for everyone. So from Microsoft 365, and like all the environment of Microsoft, talking about the modern workplace and all the solutions that are integrated, such as Dynamics 365, Power Platform, Microsoft Teams, of course, among others. Um, Microsoft Teams have been one of the main hubs for all these integrations. Like we can bring all our solutions and applications there and manage from one single console. So that's pretty cool. And so for telemedicine, there are so many features, but these are categorized in basically these five that we see on the screen: virtual appointments and electronic healthcare records integration, the Teams policy packages, the secure messaging, the Teams templates, and the care coordination and collaboration. These are like the five pillars that allows us to deploy and manage all the different models and integrate. It's super easy because Microsoft, as maybe many of you know, has templates to start on and deploy from almost scratch all these solutions. So, and with the different integrations that it has, for example, now with companies like Cerner, Epic, and other apps, Teams enables physicians, clinicians, nurses, and other staff to collaborate efficiently with include collaboration features in teams such as, for example, set up teams and channels for your health teams and information workers, so they can pin their information, use the chat, post messages, and communicate in real time. Like having persistent communications about work, using the channel meetings to manage daily meetings, but with the power of Teams, uh, using audio, video, screen sharing, recording, and transcription features. That is super cool. Talking about accessibility, but in addition, accessibility is not only about technology. It's about like if I put my in the shoes of a customer, which for healthcare is my patient. It could be also other service providers and the doctors and the people that works at the offices, right, in the hospitals. Um, but for a single perspective, in healthcare, and as the experience, the patient experience is not only about the software. Of course, it's very important in everything, building software that has as much as accessibility features that we can put in. Uh, but in healthcare, it's uh, it's something that's extra special because, for example, I so I was pregnant in the 2020, and just by living during the pandemic situation, I had to use the virtual visits already, and uh, for some, sometimes it was okay, just like a video call and like a conversation and test where we cross information, update and things. For example, for me, it was super frustrating when by the time, I don't know if right now they can do, but like I wanted to, like be able to listen the heart of my baby, or something like that um, requires more like a physical interaction. And for things like that, like wasn't that perfect at that time. But I really think this is very, very helpful, especially nowadays, like thinking about COVID and the awareness that exists for all of us and how important is our help, and it also supporting to have a healthy environment. And if I feel sick this morning, I should be able to say, okay, I'm working from home. I don't want to take any risk for me, for myself, or for other co-workers at the office. So um, that's one of the things. And also, like, uh, sometimes think about like older people, or for example, if I use a wheelchair, and just like different. Honestly, especially here in the U.S., it's not easy to get to your appointment sometimes, because uh, sometimes the offices are a little bit far, and it's not easy. And if I'm in a wheelchair, it demands lots of time to get ready, and maybe someone that is helping me eventually. So, how cool is it if I can say, oh, you know what? I just use my cell phone, and on Microsoft Teams, I just take my appointment, right? So, all of these things, to me, has lots of added value, and are very, very important to have. Something really cool that the good things about the pandemic, all the digital transformation that we got, not only for the healthcare industry, but also in education, manufacture, retail, and nonprofits, and others. Okay, so I wanted to share this, especially because this is kind of recent. Microsoft start doing, having this integration. I think at the end of March, and if you see some of the documentation, I will share just in a minute. It's very recent. So having the connector that helps us to integrate the Cerner platform for electronic medical records and all the Microsoft ecosystem helps a lot to deliver solutions, and by using all the wonderful features that Microsoft provides in their platform. So here's just a quick example. This is a screen of the Microsoft Teams connector for Epic. Yeah, and so like you'll say like it's just a Microsoft interface with Teams, but it has there all the information to integrate, and something really cool, like notifications through SMS. So for your appointments, you are on time, you're notified of any change, and it's it looks simple to configure in your platform. And same thing with Cerner. Oops, sorry. Okay. Now, this is something cool that I also want to share, and it's the usage report. Like, if you can see on the screen, I hope it's not too small, but you can see different details of the usage of the applications, right? And like, for example, well, you see the date and the time that is consumed during the visit, how long was the waiting in the lobby, the virtual lobby, and also like if it was completed or the people never show up. So it's cool to have that. Like if you use bookings, or if directly through the EHR system, and what calendar, what who was the people that was coordinating these appointments, or something, all that. Also, um, there are other analytics, like if you see in this part, you have uh, four different tabs for the metrics. And there is virtual visits, there is bookings, and there is the EHR. So this is related to whether you have Epic or Cerner. You can see there all the metrics of usability, and the different states: complete, never show up, and like if also really cool here at the end, if it was the patient got a SMS sent and it was delivered, you can also see it here. So I think this is really cool, especially for decision makers, in order to um, lead better the in address, like how they're gonna use or improve the product internally in the teams and with people, just for a better customer service. All right, so I'm gonna stop here the presentation, and I want to share now this really quick. So if you see here, this is docs, and you have here the track for healthcare. And so virtual appointments has here all the information related to Cerner and to Epic and all that. So I think it's really cool because it not only explains, like why do we have here, why this important, like for conduct our virtual appointments and integrated with workflows, the SMS, and all the different benefits, but also it actually, I think, it is well explained, and how we can go through the requisites. Give me a second. I'm gonna do here this. Okay. Um, so, what do we need in order to have this in our system? So, a subscription, permissions, have teams already adopted, right? So all this, and obviously the Cerner environment. So it shows how to set up, also um, uh, here how I can set up with my FR the SMS notifications that I was talking. Super easy. And like if there is any, like not a issue, but like you require Microsoft to help with, they actually have all the information to reach out to them as well. Like for example here, uh, requesting some information for Epic. And look, this is like an estimate of time uh, for having all the process from requesting the app to testing. So again, I think it is very cool. Always go to docsmicrosoft.com. This is the best source of information if you are working something with Microsoft. Yeah, so like integrating the chat and the bots, super easy. So if some of you are working in healthcare, in IT, and want to try this I will leave this in the presentation, or you just look for virtual appointments with Teams and Microsoft, and you will get here. Also, if you are new and you want to learn more about Microsoft Learn, which is the platform that Microsoft has for educating more about Microsoft technologies and products. There is a new module called virtual visits in Microsoft Cloud for Healthcare, and so it it teaches from the beginning very basic concepts and how to go through the deployment process and setting up your first things in order to have your solution working, and also check your knowledge. So it's really cool. You can get a certificate that you can add and have the badge to add it to your LinkedIn profile, or just if you have, for example, this to your own website. That is really cool. So okay, before we wrap up, I want to show you now this. This is a virtual demo that we can find in the Microsoft website. It is, like I do not work in a hospital, so I do not have access to a real environment. So this is very useful if you want to learn more about it. And this is an environment where it's, one of the connectors for Cerner that it's they have lots of information here and shows a real demo how between doctors, nurses, and patients works in a Microsoft 365 environment by using Teams and setting up calls, using here features like the video calls, accepting people here in the lobby, having admitted all of them, having here the conversation, right? And here how one of these notifications have been sent to Oscar in this example, and with the link they can try the connection, test connectivity, and join to the appointment with his doctor. So once they have all these meetings, it always connect with your email and will always get the report for your next appointments, or there's like cancellations, or like whatever you want to notify within your system. So it's really cool. This actually here is Microsoft Bookings behind. It's super simple to deploy an application. And for example, here it's using the calendar. He can let me pick the doctor, the date, right, the time for my appointment, and fill out here just basic and simple information, name, email, my phone number, and just book. Okay, and there. So there is the confirmation. Super easy. Okay, now there's a clinical administrator that from other perspective has the view of the calendars of the different doctors. You can see here Christine, psychologist, Deborah as a supervisor, and Nestor. So they can use the bookings for the different consults. And so this is going to be a virtual visit, and here we have the information for our patient. Yes, they can sign a consent real quick, and if there is notes to be added, they can fill out of this information, really simple and easy, and send. And okay, we got the calendar updated. And with all this, it's going to enable our doctors, our patients to have access to the virtual appointment. It's super cool because, as you know, Microsoft Teams you can use on your phone, on your tablet, on your desktop, and it's gonna be very simple to have your patient attending a visit, and not to even try to learn new things. These are tools that um, people already know. So super cool. So let me change here. Okay. So I'm sharing here in the screen the resources that I use to show this topic. And now you can find the content of this presentation in our Discord server. So here is the link again. If you haven't joined yet, please take a screenshot or just take a picture of this QR code, and that actually helps to do it very simple, in a simple step. And thank you. Let's see if we got some questions here in the chat, or what do we have? So okay, reports of visits from external attendees to the company. Okay, Luis. Well, I'm not sure if you're asking it like if an external user can be able to get a report of your platform, right? From your Cerner environment, for example. Well, if not, you can send me maybe a private message later. But for the most, these features are managed by the administrators of your Microsoft 365 environment. So, I mean, and based on the organization policies, the organization is pretty much the only that can define who is the people in charge and allowed to get and read the reports in order to tell, like your boss what is the usage of your platform. But I mean, eventually you will have people from that is not into the organization, but it always depends of the IT admins. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for joining to this session. I hope you like it, and please share the content within your network and follow us in our channels. Don't forget to visit our website and get the next meeting details by visiting www.bosshawk.com. Remember, our next session is going to be in person, so get all the information registered, and we can meet there at the Microsoft offices in Burlington. See you within 2 weeks, and thank you again.